One of the plot lines of this movie involve a human falling in love with a man with crab arms played by Jason Bateman. So let's do my review for this movie. So my name is Nathan, and I watch a lot of movies and do a bunch of random stuff on this channel. If you watch this movie, let me know what you thought of it down in the comment section, and share your thoughts of how. I don't know how to describe it. Without further ado, let's just jump right in the movie review. Starting off with the good. First off, I guess the special effects actually look pretty good for a Netflix superhero team-up movie. And there's a bunch of explosions and people getting killed and lasers and heroes versus villains and stuff like that. And yeah, I guess that's about it. Let's move on to the bad now. And wow, this movie is a total misfire and a waste of its cast. For a superhero comedy movie, it's horribly and surprisingly unfunny and unenjoyable. And like many movies that are really bad loop around, and it's actually good and very watchable. This is not one of them. This is one of those movies that is so bad that it's unwatchable. I mean, how could this have happened? They cast A-list actors like Jason Bateman in this movie, and in the trailer he seems like a nice cameo appearance that would have made it in the good section of this movie. Nope. Instead, what we got was a man with crab arms who is actually a supporting character and a main character in the movie. And as much as little laughs it has in this movie, it feels like they had planned this movie but didn't really know what to do with it. What I'm saying here is that it's like they started filming this movie before they had a script. Now, it's not before they had a complete script. It's like before they had a script as a whole. I don't know much about what behind the scenes, but that's what this movie is like. This is very dreadful and forgettable movie. And also some of the superhero stuff. Like I said, the visual effects actually look pretty cool, but the actual superhero fights, the one all the way at the end, is some of the most predictable superhero cliches I have ever seen. Luckily, this movie wasn't releasable in theaters, so they just dropped it on Netflix. And I don't know how this happened. They cast A-list actors, but the A-list actors in this movie don't really feel like they're acting. Like they're just that. It feels like somebody on the side of the set was whispering the lines to them, and they would follow along. I think this movie also doesn't really make any sense. The villain doesn't show up until the last action scene. And characters keep appearing and disappearing. And like I said, it seemed like they started filming without a script, so they kept making up stuff as they go along. For some reason, their boss becomes a traitor, and then for some reason, stopping this 7-Eleven place turns our main characters into actual heroes. But our main characters are totally unlikable. Like, the movie starts off by telling us how they met as children, then they broke up, and then they went back together, but it's not any awkwardness or anything. It feels like the child stuff at the beginning never happened. So what you get is a mumbo jumbo of lame jokes and a bunch of other total waste of its cast. this this movie starts off trying to look like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, but it's definitely not that movie. And it introduces basically mutants from the X-Men. That's basically what this movie is. So I think so that makes this movie totally unoriginal and generic. Some of the most predictable stuff happens in this movie. Humor doesn't land. There's all these jokes that the bad guys make about the boss killing his own men, which is a very dark joke. So none of the jokes land. It's so lame. It's a totally incompetent misfire. I do not know how this happened. Overall, I give this movie a 3 out of 10. It's a totally generic superhero comedy that's really very unfunny with lame jokes and not really a great script that they went with. Nothing interesting about it. Just a mumbo jumbo of unfunny jokes and a bunch of other random things. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how A-list actors chose to be in this movie, but there you have it. There is my review for this movie. So I'll see you guys in the next one, and make sure to let me know what you thought of it down below in the comment section. I'll see you in the next one.